Hello everyone and welcome to today's episode of Beyond the Mask, where today I'm going to be answering one of the biggest questions on Halloween fans' lips since the release of Halloween in 2018. Did Michael Myers recognise Laurie Strode when they reunited towards the end of the movie? Was he genuinely hunting her? Did killing her hold any kind of significance to Michael, or was she just another prey for him to hunt? The movie does little to elaborate this, but thanks to the novelizations of all three of Blumhouse's Halloween movies, I feel I can now provide you guys with a definitive answer to this 4-year-long question. In order to do this, I'm going to be telling you guys exactly what was going through Michael's mind when he and Laurie faced off in 2018 to help provide a clearer understanding to the Shape in the latest timeline. So sit back and relax as I discuss and analyse when the Shape reunited with Laurie Strode. Michael Myers' escape from Smith Grove in 1978 and the subsequent events on Halloween night that year were traumatic for everybody involved. Following his eventual capture, Michael was placed back into the system. As the main survivor from that night, Laurie Strode dealt with the fallout and the haunting images she would continue to have of the terrifying Shape that haunted her life. Laurie believed Michael would return for her. She felt this hunt for him was personal, like he wanted her dead specifically, above everyone else. Or more simply put, she felt he would return to finish the job he didn't complete in 1978. Once Michael was placed back into the system and following Dr. Loomis's passing, Michael's care was given to Dr. Ranbir Satane. Dr. Satane agreed with Laurie that Michael would be driven by the need to find Laurie once again. He felt their fates were bounded, tied together 40 years following their first meeting. In his mind, Dr. Satane felt he understood Michael. He felt he knew how his mind ticked. So was Dr. Satane correct? Did Michael pursue Laurie? Was he searching for her on Halloween night in 2018? Briefly adding to this, the novelization has a specific wording from Michael's view. During most of his kills, the wording doesn't address his victims by their names. Michael wouldn't know who they were. He doesn't know them personally. The service station remains empty as the Shape leaves the restroom and turns the corner to walk past the ice machine. Using the tall man's keys, the Shape opens the trunk of the car and finds another box, opens the flaps and pauses, staring down. The Shape's hands reach into the box, grabbing the mask between them, lifting it close enough to smell, staring into the eye holes. The Shape turns the mask around, lifts it overhead, pulls it down, fitting it into place. Perfect. The Shape breathes. Complete again. The tall man that he refers to is Aaron, one of the podcast journalists that visited him in Smith's Grove. Michael doesn't know his name, so he refers to him as the tall man. Now, keep all this information in mind as we take a closer look at Michael's thoughts when he was reunited with Laurie. As Laurie suspected, Ray had gone outside to converse with the police and had, naturally, left the door open unsecure. She peered through the right vertical window panel, trying to take in the scene through the obscure glass. First thing she saw was the Shape, standing below the front porch, his back to her. Then she saw a body sprawled unnaturally at his feet. Ray, her breath caught. Stunned, she swayed forward and raised her hand to the doorframe to steady herself. Following this, Michael attacked Laurie at the door. The struggle resulted in Laurie shooting Michael's fingers just after she disappeared. Breathing deep and measured, the Shape reaches his intact right hand through the broken window closest to the locks and lifts the open bar barricade, tossing it aside. Then the Shape feels along the door jamb for the locks, unlatching them one by one, finally turning the deadbolt above the doorknob. With the restraints gone, or disabled, the Shape turns the doorknob and enters her house, now cloaked in darkness. Forward in the story, Michael hides in Laurie's room, hidden behind mannequins that he has displayed himself. Following a struggle between them, Laurie is stabbed and thrown out of the window of her home. The Shape sees her body sprawled below, utterly still. The Shape stands there, breathes, wants nothing. "Mum?" the voice calls from beyond the bedroom. And the Shape recognises the voice. From the police cruiser, the youngest one, Alison. Turning, the Shape looks to the open bedroom door, listens for a moment, then turns back to the balcony, breathes the night air, glances down again. Laurie is gone. The Shape walks from Laurie's bedroom down the hall to the far bedroom and stops at the security gate barring the door. The Shape grabs the bars, testing the strength of the gate, but the gate doesn't budge. The Shape knows Alison is not in this room, turns around and walks to the stairs. Michael knew who Laurie was. From the moment he heard her shouting Ray's name, he believed he recognised her. It was during the setting up of the mannequin scenes, when Laurie closely inspected that room, that Michael was sure who she was. The novel began referring to her as Laurie from his mind. This adds a lot of context to the story, especially in Halloween Ends. It's never specifically stated on screen, but Michael only ever appears to discover Laurie by accident. The fact that we now know from his perspective that he did know who she was. We know now that his hunt for her in Halloween Ends during the final fight between them has more meaning. This wasn't some random attack, he knew who she was, he wanted her dead. I would like to add, however, I do not believe Michael was specifically hunting Laurie in 2018, their meeting was accidental, orchestrated by Dr. Satane. I do believe, however, it may have been slightly more personal in Halloween Ends. And that's it from this video. I hope this video has helped clear up this long-wondered question from the latest Halloween movies. If you enjoyed this content, don't forget to subscribe, like and share, and I will see you guys in the next video. Until then, make no mistakes, he's aware. He was watching you when you arrived.